Who of the Ozark cast was the hardest to say goodbye to? Why was Janet McTeer offered a stuntwoman? And which animal appeared to bring a lot of struggle to the cast? Hi, I'm Peter, and you're watching OSSA. Let's look behind the curtains at the making of the hit bloody crime drama series by Netflix. Do you speak Ozark? Do you enjoy Julia Garner's distinctive Southern pronunciation as much as we do?
You're late, and if I find out you're skipping class, I will hunt you down, tie you to the back of the base, and drag you there myself.
To make a foul-mouthed Ruth from the Ozarks sound authentic, the actress practiced her articulation a lot. Luckily, a Missouri accent was already amongst Garner's skills. With the help of her acting coach, Julia had mastered the pronunciation for her role in the film Tomato Red. But when she auditioned for Ruth, Garner was the only one to use the accent, and she thought that was her biggest mistake. The actress was afraid of looking cartoonish, but at that point she could no longer do her lines otherwise. Still, once she opened her mouth, everyone in the room realized that Ruth Langmore would become a much bigger character than was originally planned. Before the filming even started, Garner spoke in the accent wherever she went, thus ensuring talking like Ruth was natural and effortless. And the actress loved her lines so much, she never wanted to change anything. Though talking salty slang loud, fast, and in an accent was almost like yelling big tongue twisters all the time, Julia nailed it. The writers did a really impressive job of picking catchy dialect phrases for the characters. And Jason Bateman, together with Laura Linney and Julia Garner, even made a video teaching Ozark slang to the audience. Let's see if we got that lesson right. Dadgummit, since you hunkered down for a quarantine, you haired up like a summer pig turd. The mysterious visual language. Although Ozark is often seen as Breaking Bad's spiritual successor, the Netflix drama has its very own style and visual aesthetic. Ben Cutchins, Emmy-nominated cinematographer, created a full range of unique elements to ensure Ozark's unforgettable image. The show brings us dark intimacy, where actions and intentions are often delivered by detailed composition rather than by dialogue. And sometimes, that money-laundering drama feels almost claustrophobic. Coloured in deep blues and with even darker corners featuring extreme close-ups, Ozark manages to put its audience in the middle of the conversation. And every camera angle is chosen carefully to provide that effect of presence. I want a subjective viewpoint into this world because I think that this just brings a level of engagement, and it's sort of giving the audience the idea that they're respected enough to be part of the conversation, explained Cutchins. And of course, the distinctive symbolism of each show's title became quite a satisfying puzzle for the show's fans. As Jason Bateman shared in an interview, Netflix wanted to have a title sequence, so he came up with the idea of spelling the show's name with symbols. And every episode started with the 4 objects shaped in the letters Z, A, R, and K, put inside the O. Each symbol, placed into a chapter card, foreshadowed the plot of the episode, but amazingly gave no spoilers. And with the help of a brilliant graphic designer, Neil Kellerhouse, Ozark got an assortment of icons relevant to every episode. Plus, the audience got at least 4 Easter eggs per episode to hunt for. And it's quite a good exercise. If you designed an Ozark card showing your past month with objects, which 4 words or emojis would you choose? Post them in the comments. The recreated nostalgic background. In case you ever wondered, why Ozark? The location choice was not random. Who doesn't like to think about the good old days? Bill Dubuque, the series co-creator and Missouri native, used to work at one of the Ozark's resorts as a teenager. He cherished his love for the place and used those memories as the set for the show. And though some footage of the actual lake is featured in the series, most of the show was not Missouri-born. Ozark was filmed in Georgia. The Atlanta and Savannah areas appeared to have the perfect rural flavor and overall aesthetic. And the southern state was more than welcoming. They provided generous tax breaks for the filmmakers. So the dedicated team studied the actual Alona resort on the Ozark Lake and recreated it at Lake Allatoona, about an hour away from Atlanta. The Bird's family house was located at another Georgian lake, Lanier, and most of the interior footage was shot at the meticulously designed sets of Eagle Rock Studios outside of Atlanta. Madison Thompson, who portrayed Helen's daughter Erin Pierce, shared that her funniest memory from shooting on the lakes was police officers that looked so non-intimidating on jet skis. Yes, the policemen kept vacationers from interfering with the scenes, especially while filming on Memorial Day and the 4th of July. In addition to the beautiful nature, friendly people, and diverse location, Georgia also brought some challenges for the crew and the cast. The filming of one season took 5 to 6 months, and that means weather at its best and worst. May in the southern state is extremely hot and sweaty, and late autumn made filming by the water below freezing. But that was barely the hardest part of the job. The tough atmosphere of darkness. Imagine if 6 months of your life were directly linked to violence, betrayal, murder, and the full spectrum of negative emotions. Even if it's just filming, it's not that fun in the sun of Netflix's distressing drama. Julia Garner admitted that she got really depressed after shooting some of Ruth's evil scenes. I just feel like it was terrible and I hate myself. Carson Holmes, who played Ruth Langmore, shared that he could not have fun before the shooting. The preparation demanded bringing the energy down and getting into a dark, serious mood. Carson tried to avoid talking to people much beforehand so he could stay in that attitude long enough to film the scene. But Jason Bateman and other castmates tried to compensate for that with tons of jokes once the episode was filmed. Tom Pelphrey also said that at some point, the body does not feel the difference between authentic emotions and those expressed through acting. So in order to de-stress and not get sick, the actors have to take really good care of themselves. His recipe for balancing energy is yoga, good sleep, and taking his dog for a walk in the park. And if you think that losing favorite characters is painful for the fans only, you're wrong. Jason Bateman felt really bad when he had to kill off characters. Selfishly, you want everyone to stick around, he told The Hollywood Reporter. We had a really great group of actors. It's terrible when these people have to go. But that's the trade-off of doing these kind of shows. You have to be willing to make big moves because that's where everything is at nowadays. Filming the death of Agent Petty was emotionally tough for everyone. Jason Butler Harner, who portrayed him, was so special that Laura Linney threw a wake for him at her house in Atlanta. Still, the cast shared that everyone was extremely supportive, and they were like a big family. Laura Linney shared a house with Janet McTeer. Julia Garner invited the castmates who stayed at the hotel to her apartment and let them use her washing machine, and everyone enjoyed spending time together when they were not filming. The acting struggles. Let's go back to one of the most unpleasant scenes in Season 1, when Marty was captured by the cartel. Again, all the darkest things in the series were meticulously thought out by the creative team. And among the possible ways of torture, they picked toenail ripping. Gah, the sole thought of it makes me cringe. And that scene took quite a bit of time to shoot, as the final result was achieved through practical effects only. No post-effects were used. Of course, Bateman's toenails were not harmed. The crew repeatedly filmed prosthetics. But Marty's terrifying screams were real.
Oh, God damn it! Shit!
We did Bateman's close-ups first, Kutchin said. He knew that he was going to blow out his voice doing it, and he did. That was a painful experience to shoot, and it's super painful to watch. Well, that is 100% true. Playing a victim of torture was a brand new experience for another series regular, Janet McTeer. When the actress read the script, which opened with her waterboarding scene, she was very impressed. And if you think her struggle was fake, here's the truth. McTeer refused to have a stuntwoman stand in for her. And though it was a real challenge to shoot that torture scene, the actress admitted it was a kind of fun yet exhausting experience. According to Janet, the towel on her face had cling film on it, and one of her hands was out of the camera line so she could signal whenever she needed a break. So I had one hand to struggle and flail, and another to let them know if I needed to stop. And that happened a few times because we shot for about 3 hours, she says. It wasn't easy. I got very cold for one thing. But the crew was very nice and supportive and kept bringing me tea. Tom Pelphrey, who portrayed Wendy's brother Ben, had to learn a lot about bipolar disorder to show its authenticity on screen. The main part of his research was a book called An Unquiet Mind by Kay Jameson. It's a heartbreaking memoir of a doctor who learned that she was bipolar while actually studying mental health. The book became Tom's Bible and helped him to live through the author's experience and find the scientific explanation of everything that she went through. But one of Pelphrey's most memorable moments was filming that hilarious nude scene in front of Laura Linney and Jason Bateman. As the actor recalls, that was also one of my first days of work, so it was a really good icebreaker. And though Tom wanted to jump in the lake afterwards, Bateman cut off that idea to keep Pelphrey's energy high enough for other crazy scenes. Animal questions. Do you remember that iconic moment in Season 1 when Wendy was angry enough to throw a dead opossum onto Langmore's roof? That scene had to balance the humor of the action and the character's despair. And it was important to play both angles so as not to make a full comedy out of it. How does a person throw an opossum? We just had no idea how it was going to actually work, shared Ben Kutchins. And while Laura Linney practiced swinging a dead animal, Kutchins climbed on the roof and lay on the gravel to find the perfect angle to shoot the scene. Another animal-involving scene appeared to be a struggle for Julia Garner. Her character, Ruth, had to pick up a mouse by the tail and throw it into water. Well, that doesn't sound as bad as dealing with a dead opossum or having your toenails ripped off, right? Still, it was a real-life torture for Garner, as she has a phobia of rodents. The actress tried to overcome her fear, but after her panic attack, the team had to involve a hand double. And to add to Julia's embarrassment, everyone kept sending her pictures of mice for the next month. Oh, so that's what they call support. Luckily, the actress now recalls that episode with a smile. What was your favorite Ozark scene? Will you watch season 4? Tell us in the comments and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and please, stay safe and stay awesome, even if you're an opossum.